You know what? God bless you all you lovely people, all my subs, my new subs, my old subs. Ray Skater in his house. You know what I'm saying? Red, see red, copper skin, copper color. My girl Des, I know you need a hug, baby. I know you do. It's all right. One of these days, I'll give you a good hug. My man Myron Jones, Mitch Baker ain't talked to Mitch. Upper echelon coming through. And even you, Marquise. Even you. And I just wanted to say that I have a flat top haircut. Now that we've got all that out the way, we got some hope. We got a little hope yesterday, didn't we? I'm glad that I was wrong because it wasn't a prediction. It was just kind of like, I think Warriors are just gonna, do their thing for a couple games, and then, the Rockets are eventually gonna get some help from either the refs or somebody's gonna get hurt, like some of you guys were saying yesterday. Somebody's gonna get hurt, or there's gonna be some technical fouls coming the Warriors' way. Something's gonna happen to where the Warriors are going to get beat, and something did happen. Okay? Now, I listen to Undisputed, I try to listen to SAS, and all of the bull crap that is just being sold to you guys on all of a sudden how good the Rockets the Rockets are. And, of course, the narrative that I told you guys that they were going to use was just Steph Curry's injury. And one of them even said, look, I talked to Steph Curry after the game. He said he's fine, yada, yada, yada. It would have been better for them to say, hey, Steph Curry, he still isn't himself. And there are some people saying that. Now, they were talking about Steph Curry's movement and how on offense he can move where he wants, but on defense he has to react. And that's very true. He has an MCL, and that's what happened to him when his own teammate ran into his knee and laid on the floor like he needed a medic while Steph Curry was limping around. And this is why Steph Curry had a 2-month rest. I want to say this. SAS said something that made sense. He says, I don't think the Rockets can keep this up. I'm hoping they can. And when he said that, he also said that it wouldn't matter if Steph Curry was out because of Kevin Durant. Somebody else had brought that same issue to light. As long as you got Clay, you got a dynamite lineup, even without Steph Curry. All right? Iguodala, Green, Clay. Steph's out. You got people that come in and not do exactly what he does, but that can definitely still, as we've already seen when he was out, can still get you the W. I'm eating an apple. Now, people want to talk about how good James Harden and Chris Paul are. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're talking about these guys too, but the real focus is right here. That's where the real focus is. Now, here's my whole thing. You got 2 superstars on that team, okay? 2 superstars. 2 people who are probably at a max pay that's probably 24 to 25 and over for the year. I don't know what Chris Paul's is, but I know this man right here is getting a heck of a lot of money. I think his contract is somewhere around $220 for 5 years. That's a lot of jack that none of us will never see. Okay? Ever see. All right? Now, the highest paid person here is actually Kevin Durant because his 2-year contract is, now it's actually Steph Curry. When Kevin Durant got his contract, he was at 54.3 or 4. Steph Curry was still doing 100. Now his contract is 201. But nonetheless, his supporting cast, These guys are all at max pay for what they do. All at max pay for what they do. Okay? These guys are pretty much right here are all, I would like to say franchise players, except maybe Iguodala. I think Iguodala is going to end up on the Spurs or something like that. I just do. You know, I've had for the last 2 years, and I think he even has been talking to some people. Okay? I just think it's going to happen. Nonetheless, I still think that even without Curry, they still have a stronger supporting team with these four on the floor and the replacement than these guys have a stronger five, period. I just do. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen this player go out and we've seen this player go out, and we saw a huge difference. But there was a lot of refs cheating, and that was against Cleveland. I think that same thing is about to happen. Actually, during that series last year when Cleveland got one win, you saw Curry, Durant, and Green go out, and that told me a whole hell of a lot. It told me you need to sit down these three superstars for there to be even the slightest different for an average team to win. And you want to say Cleveland is an average? Okay, fine. They're above average because of LeBron James. But nonetheless, this squad makes everybody look average. 2 MVP, I'm sorry, they just do. I'm saying all this to say, whatever the Rockets did, we're hoping it's going to be a 4P to that or a 3. You know, it's a game 5 now. We're hoping we're going to see a lot more of that. If you do, you already know that it's fixed. It would be better for them to sit Curry down or to say his MCL or something CL is torn again. You know, his iliotibial band is going out. His patella is doing something. It would be better to do that than to have Curry still in the game and to keep trying to draw technical fouls on these guys because the refs did let them play. Listen, this is going to be one of the best displays of the NBA being fixed that you're ever going to see because it's so lopsided. And if you guys can't pick up on what's happening when the Rockets win these games, it's going to be like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's just going to be that bad. I'm sorry, it is. Now, I want the Rockets to win. I think the Rockets are going to take the series. I think the Rockets are going to lose in the final to Cleveland. Do I think the Rockets are better than Cleveland? Yes, I do. 100% better than Cleveland. But I think the Rockets will fold when the king gets on the floor. And that's just that. And it's not so much because LeBron is the most dominant player in the game, even though that is a very real factor. It's the simple fact that it's his time now. So these guys are set up to take out the juggernaut. That's just it. That's who the Rockets are. The Rockets are set up to take out the Warriors because the Warriors are just too doggone good. Somebody has to take them out. Why not have an excuse that the number 1 seed in the West, actually the number 1 seed, took you out? The Rockets were the number 1 seed, period. They had more wins than anyone else. So why not have them take you out? That looks good on paper. No shame to that. None at all. That's what you're going to see. Now, people like, why do you need to know, in all of his flamboyant comments, are going to say, nah, that's not going to happen. Or you guys will listen to Marquise, Mr. Washington, and he'll say, nah, I don't think that's going to happen. But I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to show you some of the, let's see. So let's do this. Let's look at who did what And you guys can also, look at the comparisons yourself and just get a grip on what you're seeing and get an understanding, because you'll see this all in sports, the cheating and the, especially now that gambling has been infiltrated into the game legally. Now the rats are really going to come out of the gutter. It's going to be mayhem. It's going to be obvious. It's going to be like boxing, where there's going to be a man in a hat that's going to say something to the refs or the coaches, which is or the people keeping score, which is exactly what really did happen in boxing. Okay? And that's not supposed to happen. Nobody's supposed to be talking to the judges, and that's exactly what happened, and somebody fixed the boxing match. We know it happens, but it's going to be so blatant now that it's just going to be sickening. And this is the world we live in. KD, 35 minutes, 3-0, 38 points. That means 0 assists, 3 rebounds. So 3-0, 38 points. Good night for him. Iguodala, 27, 6-1, 5 points. Green, 37 minutes, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 points. Klay Thompson, 37, 2, 2, and 8. Steph Curry, 34, 7, 7, and 16. I think the Warriors are going to win the next game. Steph Curry is going to have in between 24 and 28 points. Livingston, 18, 1, 2, and 5. Young, 17, 1, 2, and 6. Looney, 11 minutes, 5-0 and 4 points. Bell, 3-6, 0 and 1 point. West, 6-0, 0 and 4 points. Cook, 5-1-0 and 7 points. Zaza, 5-1-1 and 5 points with his $3 million contract to hack and smack. So there's my pick for the next time these guys match up. I'm going to go with the Warriors. It is not a prediction. I just think that's how the chips are going to fall. I had the Rockets to lose the last game. They won. Oh, well. I have the Rockets to win the whole thing. And that's what I think is going to happen. I'm sorry I can't show you guys any of the videos because of copyright strikes. And they've been handing those out left and right. And I really don't want any part of that. But I did want to kind of look at one of these plays and try to dissect the play. So, okay, here what we have is we have what I would consider a loose man's, kind of almost a mix of man and zone whenever I see this here. So let me try to get this right and try to figure out what they're playing. Man, okay, so man, and man. This is a man, definitely. If it was a zone, this player would be over here somewhere. I think that's Clay. So they're playing man defense for the Warriors, and it looks like they're So one of the commentators said that they pretty much stayed on Curry. They were like, we know Durant is going to get his points, but stay on Curry. Durant did get his. He got 38. They were like, but if we stay in Curry's face and man up on him, we can slow him down. Well, this is true in any case, whether it was fake or not. If you stay in somebody's face and don't play off him like the Celtics are playing off LeBron James, then you're going to slow that person down in some kind of way, and you're going to have a lot of what you see here, which is pick and roll. So Harden picks up Steph over here. This player right here sticks with the guy who's doing the pick on him. That's fundamental basketball. That makes a lot of sense to play that way when you're playing man. You also notice these two people here got their foot in the paint. This is in case Steph Curry breaks to the middle, they can slow down his lane, which is going to be right here. It just makes, not unless he switches up, but he's not because of this defender here. It's almost a trap. They can almost trap and hit right here and both put their hands up, and he won't have too far to go. He's going to have to pass it to a less talented player, which is, unfortunately, Clay, who scores from the outside all the time. So you can see how the defense can capitalize on this and how the offense can capitalize on this. He could come in and say, okay, you guys want to slow me down? I'm going to go over here and I'm going to make sure that, Thompson is going to have, the next game, this 8 points over here is going to turn into 28 points. So it's just simple math. If you're going to keep playing man on Curry, you're going to have Clay get open. It's just the way it is. And you guys will lose to the 3-point range of Clay. All right? Who is a better version of a Kevin Love. It is what it is. All right, so you're seeing, once again, they're playing man here. All right? Here's the mistake that the Warriors are making in this man coverage. This is just a mistake. You don't put the best person on their offense and man up with the person who just came off a MCL tear. I don't care how long he rested. This is not a good look. All right? And this is what they're talking about, the reaction. Next game, you're not going to see this. This is not what you're going to see. It isn't. Next year, you'll see this. Next game, you're not going to see too much of this. Somebody's going to switch with Harden because they're going to take their next best defensive player, which I don't think Curry is their best defensive player, and that's another glitch in the system too. They'll take their next best defensive player who can keep up with Harden and slow him down. Now let's go over here and see what Harden did. All right, so you have Ariza, 36 minutes, 4, 6, and 19. Good night. Tucker, 36, 7, 4, and 22. Clint, 31, 10, 1, and 5. Hart, 34, 10, 3, and 27. If you want to slow Harden down, you're going to have somebody in his face that can keep up with him. Because he's going to pull that step back and hit you from the 3, and also he's going to come and drive down the middle lanes. Now I'm going to try to look, well, let me call off the rest of these. Paul, 34, 4, 6, 16. Gordon, 33, 3, 2, and 27. Huge night for Gordon. Green, 15, 2, 0, and 3. I don't know how to say his name. Luck, 7, 1, and 2. Anderson, 4, 0, 1, and 0. Black, 4, 2, 0, and 2. Aaron Jackson, 4, 2, 0, and 4. And Johnson, 4, 2, 0, and 0. So your big scorers were Gordon, Harden, Tucker, and Ariza. All right? So there you have that. Let's see, what did Paul did 16. So, but that's, that's good scorage right there. That's real good scorage. I just made that word up. Anyways, so I'm going to look at a little bit more here and try to just dissect the play. Sorry I can't show the video, but okay. So what is it? A break to the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is the fifth person? Where's the fifth? 1, 2, 3, 4. Where'd he go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this guy's going to break to the middle. He's going to have an open lane, break to the middle, and scoring a layup. Another thing is, when you start looking at these plays and you start dissecting them, of course, in fast motion, when the plays are fixed for a team not to win, you'll see a lot of spread out, and you'll see a lot of breaking towards the basket. You'll see him play off the person. But how you really know who's going to win that game is when you see the defense line up, whether it's a man or a zone, and you see the person come from the top of the key and break towards the middle, and the other players not even make an effort to break towards the middle. When you see that, you know that team is going to lose. It's your boy Tone 202. God loves you, and so do I.